You need to give whatever you're doing a soul. And that's the part about being an artist. You could be the greatest technician on earth. You could be able to paint so accurately that you would easily fool someone into thinking it's a photograph if that's what you want to do. But the fact is, the part that really makes it a piece of art is your ability to give it a soul.
This episode of Beyond the Gallery is brought to you by Manitou Galleries, located in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
My name is William Haskell. I live and paint in Galisteo, New Mexico, which is a small historic village about 20 miles from Santa Fe. My media in painting is dry brush, which is using watercolor paint. I've been painting the majority of my life, on and off. I was a part-time artist until 2001. At that time, I was the director of sales and marketing for a printing and advertising company in Minneapolis. My moment of clarity came one day when I was in traffic, when I thought more and more about applying this much energy to becoming a full-time artist. We had been coming to Santa Fe for years, and at that point really decided to pursue it, to making that life change. Painting for me begins with a sketch. I'll do a compositional sketch to make sure that I've got my directionals in there correctly and that the piece functions so that the viewer can move through the painting and it tells them a story. And then I transfer that to the paper that I'm going to do the painting on. Once I've established my compositional areas in the painting, I start to paint with lots of water and what I call my local colors. A local color is an underlying color, what you need to get to the essence of what color the dirt really is underneath what's very obvious. What color is the grass underneath the fact that the grass may appear to be green. I start with the lightest color and I paint to the darkest color. And then after I get to a certain point in the painting, I start to paint lighter colors over the darker colors, which is not necessarily considered to be a watercolor technique. It gives the work more dimension, it gives it more depth, and it gives it more richness. I find it inspirational when I come across somebody's property, and maybe it's abandoned, maybe it's not, a small town that has clearly seen better days, like on Route 66 or something like that. And you think about the people's lives that used to be there, and think about, you know, maybe how vibrant that place used to be, or the things that used to happen. It's something that I have a lot of curiosity about. I've always loved history, and I've always enjoyed looking at historical things, collecting antiques, looking at the landscape. You know, there's nothing more inspirational than seeing a beautiful landscape in the morning or the evening, and you see this long light and these incredible colors, especially here in New Mexico, or coming across a beautiful farm or something like that that still has that authentic feel the way it maybe did 100 years ago. When somebody walks up to a painting of mine and they spend some time looking at it, I want that painting to tell them their own story. I want it to have a narrative that only they will relate to, but that painting brings it to their mind's eye. And a good painting should be able to do that with lots of different stories. It will mean one thing to me, but it could mean something completely different to somebody else, and that's what's great about it. And here's the interesting thing about painting, or any other artistic venue that you're doing, but I see this in painting. Every painting you do, whether it's a painting of a building or a rock or a bird or anything, you are painting a self-portrait. When I paint a building, that is a picture of me. And that has my personality in it. It has my soul. It has everything. And you know, if you get to know a lot of artists and you see their work, it becomes unmistakable that what they're doing is a self-portrait every time.
This episode of Beyond the Gallery is brought to you by Manitou Galleries, located in Santa Fe, New Mexico. To learn more about William Haskell and to see some of his work, please visit manitougalleries.com.